society that's associated with AECT. And Mark Childress and Johannes Kronje are going to conduct the interview, and I'm going to be the recording artist. So I'll turn it over to Mark to ask the first question.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, first question is, could you provide an overview of who you are, where you currently work, your current position, and we can just start with that. Who you are, where you currently work, and your current position.
Thank you very much. I'm Atwi Suparman. I'm now chairing the SS organizing committee of the conference. I'm from Universitas Terbuka, but I have already retired from Terbuka. They call me Professor Emeritus.
Oh, great.
Ah, yes. So, can you tell us something about your career, where you started, some highlights of your career thus far?
Yes, related to education and technology. Good.
Yeah.
Originally, long time ago, I was a lecturer in physical education for the S1. I mean undergraduate lecturer in physical education. Then I was lucky. I had opportunity to continue my study to United States to learn education and technology. I went to Syracuse University, and I met Donald P. Lee. I met Phil Doty. I met John Keller, and many other professors over there. And it was the starting point and make my life change from lecturer of physical education, become lecturer in educational technology after I finished my study, a master degree at Syracuse University. It was 1978.
Very good. You met a whole who's who of people in our field at Syracuse.
Yeah.
So could you describe again sort of your career path, so some other educational institutions you...
Yeah. So after I had my master degree in education technology and back to my original institution, that is the Academy of Physical Education. Then the academy became a part of the Institute of Teachers Training and Educational Science. So they were part. So when I was back from Syracuse and back to my that is college for physical education, then they sent me to another faculty, that is Faculty of Education, and the department is Department of Education Technology. So that is the starting point. I become a lecturer in education technology.
So at that point, how did you get interested in the field itself?
I think when I studied at the Syracuse University, I learned quite a lot about what is education technology and how could I apply education technology in my work. When I become lecturer in education technology, I try to do a kind of self-study in that field. I focus my field on instructional design and development, and the second in evaluation, especially instructional evaluation. That's the, so not only teaching at the institute, but I try to apply education technology in business area. None of my colleagues entered to that field at that time. But I was young, energetic, and I feel this is the time I try to get a second job. So I help people in business area how to design training program, how to conduct instructional program, and how to evaluate the results, immediate result and long-term result. Those kind of things. I deal with this, the second job, more than 22 years, almost 23 years. And I would like to tell you why I was interested to apply my knowledge in digital technology outside. I was at that time until before retired as civil servant. The salary is very small, not enough. I don't have enough money to support my family. On the other side, business area needs my expertise. So I, myself, try to go there, and they accept the knowledge of educational technology very, very much and enthusiastically. So they ask me so many things to do to help them. A very important person in this country, which is at that time governor, central government, central bank of Indonesia. The guy that is governor of the central bank asked me to help him to improve the Training Institute of Banking for all banks, using instructional design concepts and development. I developed their curriculum using content experts from the banking areas. And the governor provided me the experts. So I trained them and tried to develop curriculum and materials. It was amazing. The IP. It happened in 1982 with the business area, because they accept the theories, concept, and principles of instructional design. I became what you call it, more enthusiastic, very, very highly motivated to apply this field because they accept it. So until 22 years, that I stopped because I became hiring position in the government. They said, you don't need to do that. Let us do something else, something like that. Until finish my job in the first job is the director of Universitas Terbuka for 2 terms, 8 years, and before that at the National Institute of Public Administration, dealing with training public apparatus nationally. So I designed the curriculum, the programs, or those kind of things. Until finish, then I feel that it's the time to retire. I believe that my performance in any institutions that I work, for example, at the national state national public administration and at Universitas Terbuka, the Open University, I use educational technology, how to facilitate people learn better, faster, more efficient, and those kind of things. And I feel it works because they love it and they accept me as educational technologist. After that, until after retired, I feel I finished working for the government, for Dr. Buka. And I have Tian Bilawati to continue my job. So I try to move to help other universities. Without any request from them, except they asked me to teach at the graduate school for the Department of Education and Technology. Then I tried to persuade them to learn about educational technology more, because educational technology can be applied at any fields as long as dealing with teaching and learning. As long as dealing with it. Teaching, geography, teaching, anything. We need it. And they accept it. They accept it throughout the country. So my love to education technology deeper and deeper. That's deeper. And then I try to bring them to see AACT convention, because it is difficult to just to tell them what AACT is and how to the AACT works and how good the people is in the.
So maybe we must take that from there. What would you say are the big ideas in the field that sort of motivated you up to now? The names, the people, and the big ideas in the field that motivate you and stay with you. As I told you, that I work at the National Institute of Public Administration and then at Terbuka. By applying the theories, the concept, and principles, procedures, and education technology, we could improve the quality of human resources, which were under my management. So we train them, we improve the performance, and then make me feel easier to work with them, because their capability increase. Then I could delegate so many tasks for the institution. So my role as manager changed into manager. Right.
Managing people who have good skills in doing their job and tasks. Something like that. And that is really, I think, education technology. Not many people from other areas know how to improve the quality of human resources effectively, efficiently. Educational technology can offer that. And I prove it by doing it in the public, in the private sector, in government institutions, and work very well. I sell also the idea of educational technology to other institutions. As you see, this is really, I feel education technology is just great. I met Barbara Loki. I met Mike Spector. I met both of you and other people that very open-minded, very open-minded. As Pa Mike explained in the short speech, that at the time I just raised, why do you conduct this kind of convention only in America. I know that education technology born in America. I know that all of you very, very high quality people in this field. But why don't you think that the other part of the world also need that? Why don't you just conduct this kind of convention or conference the other side of the globe? I raised this issue, and I think I just raised the issue, and I believe that will be good for AECT. I love communicate with other people, with the people at AECT. I see people really open-minded. And finally, they said, Atwi, we have award for you. What award? What do you call it? Award for that you gave me in the convention. So they recognize my idea, and then they think that it's good, and they try to conduct seminars or international meeting or those kind of things in Korea, I heard, in Japan, and also in China, in Taiwan. But my understanding that is small event. I would like to do bigger event in this country. So I sell the idea that then, as you see, they come from different institutions and they love it. Almost at the end of the closing ceremony, somebody, I don't want to mention the rector, one rector of the university said, can we conduct the second Educational Technology World Conference here again in Bali? I said, wait, I will consult to my consultant. Pak Mai bilang, Pak Mai said, why not? Why not? Good. I said, okay. And I asked him what he has in mind. Now, today, he starts contacting people to plan the event 2 years from now. Okay. In Bali. The organization, the universities, this is one to be the host and find another co-host. I said, good. Fine. 2 or 3 co-hosts. I think if more universities involved conducting this kind of event, then the diffusion of the idea will be faster. Instead of only one university. I said, okay, fine. 2 or 3 other universities. So probably 3 universities work together or 4 universities work together to conduct the second Educational Technology World Conference in Bali. The diffusion of innovation in educational technology will be faster. Indonesia is a big country. It's very big. As big as Europe in terms of geography. But just we have more water here because islands, right? More than 17,000 islands. But the size of this country, the country, as big as Europe. We have about 250 million people. Very good. And more than around 200 state universities, more than 3,000 private universities. Very big.
So you're retired now, and you're spending a lot of time really doing service back to the field, giving back to the field.
Yeah. I sell AECT.
Yes.
AECT.
So, but when you first started the field, what were some of your research interests and aspirations, and how did those change over time?
My interest most in teaching. In teaching, I love teaching because from teaching, I believe I could improve the quality of people faster. And I always tell my students, the doctorate students, that they are the future leaders in education. They are future leaders in education in this country. Because I believe doctor degree is something. Probably not in the United States, but here, doctor degree is something. That is a... So, when the people go to doctor degree programs, they invest a lot of time and money, and then they will get the degree, and they will get something, more responsibilities, more income, of course. So, about 4 or 5 of graduates of my students become directors of universities in this country. They are rectors, 17 at the time, but they are my students. I sell ACT, I sell, because I know the people who are open-minded. I sell the idea, the concept of education technology, because I believe that it is very important to improve the quality of human resources in this country.
So, if you were to think back over your time in the field in instructional design and technology, what were the big things, the big moments that you would think, big inventions that you that stand out for you? Those technological advances.
Yeah, I believe that education technology is not machine.
Okay.
Right from the beginning, when I was introduced to education technology at Syracuse University, and from in the literature that I believe that education technology is not talking about machine, talking about the system approach in delivering learning materials to achieve a certain goal.
Okay, so would you like to talk a little bit about some of the mental changes, the changes in attitude that you may have seen in the field?
When I was young, before I went to Syracuse University, usually I punish my student who didn't perform quite well.
Right.
Or probably I just say no polite words. And learning from John Keller, talking about motivation, then that is bad for human development. So back from Syracuse University, I changed my style of teaching. I treat them like all of my teachers at Syracuse University treat me. They challenge me academically, but they also gave me a way to write paper properly and to respond to the examination properly, or those kind of things. Very nice. And always ask, Atwi, anything that I can do for you? It was very rare, if any, in this country at that time. Don't any wood.
Yes.
Really, lovely person.
That's Don Ellie for those.
Donald Peely.
Yeah.
Donald Peely.
Yes.
So I learned from him. I learned from John Keller. I learned from Phil Doty. All of them exposed me to how to teach students properly and become. I was really highly motivated instructors. If you meet any of my teachers over there, ask me. I was really at that time very excited, and I had highly motivated to learn because the way they treat me, not only learning materials, but they deliver value. So because of that, back to Indonesia, then I changed my teaching style, my teaching, the way I teach my students. But I also challenge my students with homework, and they become portfolio, so something like that. They said, no. I said, I felt the same thing. It's like university, but I feel great. And the same feeling expressed by my students.
So how do you want to be remembered in the field?
Oh, I don't know why should be remembered. So I feel I will continue my teaching activities, and because I feel this is important for them. This is important for this country to have people who good in teaching and delivering their teaching materials, and good in develop the materials. I introduce also R&D. Believe it or not, I was the person that introduced R&D in the Institute of the University of Jakarta, UNJ. At that time, he said, that's instructional design. That's not R&D. He said. So I showed them educational research book of Borg and Engel. Educational research.
Yes.
Borg and Engel is not educational technologies. His area is education, research, educational research. I said, his book said, if for the master degree and for master degree program and doctor program, to have master and doctor program, if they're interested in doing research by using R&D to produce something, scientific product by scientific process, use steps of system approach of they call step of system approach model of educational research and development. That Borg said in the book, and adapted from the systematic design of instruction by Walter Dick. See, I'm educational technology. I said, great, this is great. This is the right point enter into research. So I introduced to the people, and because a lot of controversy at the time, I asked the leader at the UNJ, at the University of Jakarta, UNJ, in Jakarta. May I talk to my colleagues to share my ideas about R&D? Oh, that's great. Okay. Should the professor, all of the professors from different departments and faculties come together? I introduced Walter Dick and Lucari model. Because the book, Educational Research book, said that that is step of system approach model of educational research development if will be done by the master program students or doctoral students. Only for the student, for example. If they would like to use for different processes to be bigger. And I start right now doing for my university at Universitas Terbuka. So I redesign right now. I starting about 6 months ago. I start training my colleagues on doing R&D by modifying Borg-Engel model and Walter-Dick and Lucari model. I combine together to produce Universitas Terbuka learning materials for the future. I believe this is scientific process, and the product will be scientific product. See, that is very nice, very good. So everyone excited. I combine the two models into one. So I use the model of Borg-Engel in the step one of his model. That is the information, data and information collecting. That is just to describe what happened right now with the materials, with the terbuka material, and the teaching and learning in terbuka. And then the second step, until instructional strategy, until development of the materials, I use systematic design of instruction. Exactly like that. Until we get the first draft of learning materials. And after that, I enter to formative evaluation. In formative evaluation, I cannot do like what Walter Dick and Lucari. Only one-to-one evaluation with several experts, one-to-one evaluation with students, 3 students, and then small group with 8 students or 20, and then field trial or later 30, because the terbuka materials will be used throughout the country, not only in one class. Throughout Indonesia, we have 27 branches, regional branch engineering offices, so will be used throughout the country. So the student also throughout the country, while the student different from one place to another in terms of so many things, from the quality of the students, what they know in terms of the subject matter, and the quality of technology. In big cities, we have internet, but little outside of the city, you cannot find no access for internet. Even in the very far away remote areas, almost totally, they have internet kiosks.
Yeah.
But it works very, very slowly. How could the learner patient facing this kind of? So it is impossible to interact with the student through internet kiosks. And they have to pay over there. For our economics, even probably you consider very cheap, but for them, it is something. So that is why the product of Universitas Terbuka for learning materials in the future will be 3 kinds. The first, online training, online learning materials for the students in the city which have access to internet and they have computer by themselves at home and his hand. So very few. Around 400,000 students. I don't know whether 2,000 or 3,000 of them can access like that. No, very small now. But the rest should be added by face-to-face interaction. Don't we have to create blended learning materials. The second type. And the third, still, no access for any way to electronic devices to communicate. So the Pemerintah Terbuka should provide learning materials with face-to-face based. Probably we use only like CD. CD. But we cannot use internet because there is no internet access. And the student don't have computer over there. Even have computer, but there is no access to internet and finish. So 3 types of learning material will exist. My idea, I threw my idea, not through Tian Bilawati, through my dean, because I work as Professor Emeritus to the dean, not to Tian. But Tian recognized that. The dean said, this is good. So I started training the people. And now they are doing the first year of research. It's a part of a 3-year research on R&D. That is multi-year research. So I feel excited because I get something new. I can use my expertise in educational technology to help my institution, to help my people, my friends, my colleagues. That is why I'm excited.
Cool. So let's go back to AECT and give us an indication of what are your highlights if you think back of the various AEC conferences, events, and so on that you've participated in. What are the highlights?
That first time I went to Kansas City in 78 when I was in Syracuse University for my master degree. So Phil Doughty and John Keller at that time organized us with other international students, other poor international students, to go by bus from Syracuse to Kansas City, 30.5 hours. You see, so it was the first time I was exposed to AEC. And I remember, I said, wonderful. A lot of bright people, knowledgeable people came here and delivered their speech, their ideas. I said, I'm dreaming to have this kind of thing. It was 78. Now, with your assistance, with your special effort, here.
So a mere 38 years.
Yeah, because it is not easy to convince people from ACT who am I. And I don't have very close relationship with ACT people. And then I met Pak Mike, I met Barbara Ruki, I met Haris over there. But academically, I talked to the 2 persons. Because that really, I feel very sad why Barbara Ruki can come here. And I know the explanation.
Oh, yeah.
I know the explanation. But she was the one that answered my question directly and said, Atwi, probably that will be a summer conference, something like that. And he said, okay, why not? So really I expected her to come because she is one person beside Pak Mai that discuss about this. So, see, I don't have any contribution. I don't have any anything that I've done to ACT. But when I throw my idea, why don't you conduct this kind of conference at the other side of the globe?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you really on American Center? Why? Let us work over there. A lot of people need this expertise. Okay. And Pak Mike, what the idea? Barbara, what the idea? And I heard that they discussed in the ACT board meeting. That's good. See how easy? Easy. Because they are open-minded. And they become more excited. That's it.
Good. I think we're done. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Super.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I completely.